What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Chris the Connecticut Landlord. What we're going to go over today, evaluating your debt payments, okay? Some of you might ask, why do you bother with these videos? I see too many quote-unquote educational videos out there that aren't realistic, and I wanted to put my experience out there for everybody to gain off of in a realistic manner and succeed, and not think you can buy real estate with zero money down or anything like that. So I like blowing things like that out of the water. I really do, which is why you should stick with me. So, debt payments. All right. You're about to purchase your first building, you're about to purchase your third building. It doesn't really make a difference. Let's look at why you should buy that building. All right? And let's remember that cash flow is king. That's the reason you're getting into this game, is cash flow. All right? Without it, you're going to be very miserable. You will have tied up money. No damn good. With it, you're going to be very happy, and you're going to succeed. All right? So, point number one, never rely on appreciation. If someone tries to tell you to buy a given building because it's going to be worth more later, and maybe you shouldn't be focused on the price right now, get rid of them. Appreciation is nice when it happens. However, you should never buy a building because it will. All right? Inflation, in general, drives real estate prices up. That's true. However, if you tie your money up in a building and it's worth, 6%, 5 years later, when you won't go to sell, you blew it. All right? 5 years is a long time to tie your money up. So never rely on appreciation. Think of it as icing on the cake. All right? And that way, you're not going to get burned. Realistically, running your numbers. I did a whole episode about this, and I kind of gave everybody a browbeating on how to go over your numbers. Why? Because it's very important. Okay? You have to evaluate your building realistically. Just because your debt payment is $1,000 and your rent roll is $2,000 doesn't mean you're making $1,000 on that building every month. So you got to account for not only your mortgage taxes and your insurance, your vacancy rate. Okay, there will be months where that unit doesn't spit you out the rent that you're relying on. All right. Repairs. All right, you gotta always make your repairs in a timely manner. Enough said about that. All right, evictions, renovations. Okay, maybe these are gonna drive up your rents. All right. Water, landscaping. All right, if your building is still profitable after beating these numbers up pretty good, you're going to feel a lot better moving forward with that purchase. Okay? So that's like the focus on just that building and those numbers. A good question to start out with, why that specific building? Okay? Don't fall in love with it right away. Don't fall in love with the building ever. Okay? Your personal residence, that's fine. An investment, it's like a stock. It's like a mutual fund. It's just about the money it makes you. Okay? Never buy a house because it's cute and you want to rent it out. That's a no-no. Fall in love with the cash flow. Fall in love with the cash flow every day. Due diligence. Okay? Things to look at there when you're doing your homework. Comps. Are you on a bubble? Okay. If you are, maybe you're just able to do a 1031 tax deferred exchange. Went over that in another effort. So you're, easy come, easy go. But wait, if the new building you're purchasing is in much better shape and you're not paying 15% capital gains on the sale of the other ones, it might be a smart idea. You could lose 15% on your new investment and still be zero. So you gotta sit down with your numbers and really look at them. All right. What was last year's price? Okay. How many in the area are for sale? Your property cards. Okay. They'll tell you sales histories, permits that have been pulled that'll justify any higher price. Maybe the building's been completely renovated, and at first you look at it and go, wow, that's a high price. But wait, I'm the specific type of investor who doesn't have time for renovations, and I'm better off paying top dollar for a building that has new windows, siding, roofing, electrical, plumbing, boilers, water heaters, because that's all money I'm not going to have to put back into that building. That's all work I'm not going to have to handle. Those are all phone calls I'm not going to get. All right, so things to consider. All right, local news and organizations, local real estate clubs, Lions clubs, whatever you're into, where you can find out what's going on in that area. Is something going to go up for a specific reason that's going to happen in a couple years? They're going to move a highway exit. I don't know. Is something going to go down for maybe the same specific reason? Okay. Good to be in tune to the news of that local market. All real estate is about your local market. Especially when you're starting off. Start off with what you know. Okay. Start off in your local area. Automatically, it'll be in your head just from reading the newspaper and talking to people, what's going on, and it'll make your homework that much easier. And it'll also avoid calls from the other side of the country because you got a roof leak. What are you supposed to do now? All right. You can never know it all. All right. So doing plenty of homework gives you kind of that sleep at night factor the night before you're closing. Hey, I really looked at everything closely. I evaluated things. I'm not just an idiot jumping into this game because someone said I could buy real estate with no money down. All right. Understand your tenant needs. Okay, whatever building you're going to be in, your tenant needs transportation / parking. All right, are they right near the highway entrance? They can go to work real easy. When they come home, they can park right near their door. Safety, local schools, education, shopping, okay, food, clothing, all right, and laundry, all right, in that building. I always look for laundry. It's a convenience factor. It justifies a little higher rent. Keeps tenants in place longer. Okay. Have a plan for yourself, a realistic plan. There's another thing we've gone over in the past. What type of investor are you? Do you want to be? What are you capable of doing? What do you want to do? Maybe you own a house painting business, okay, and you can get a good price on a multi, and the whole thing needs paint everywhere. All right, the plumbing is good, the bones are good. All right, so that's an advantage for you. All right, maybe you're a buy, rent, return, refinance, redo it strategy guy. There is some merit to this strategy, but the tough part is, when you refinance, can you get everything back out and invest it in the next building and still have your debt payments be realistic that you're making a profit. So there's that. All right, that's if you are a BURR investor, you do kind of reach a point where you've sort of eaten your own chickens. Okay, so you've refinanced, but you can only get back, let's say, 80% of what you put into that building. And you did it again, you got 80%. And you did it again, so I think you see where I'm going with this. You kind of reach that maximum density where you, unless you have other cash flow, you have to kind of hold on and, stockpile cash from your investments to make another purchase. And always make sure you have your war chest, right? So you can open it up, go to war, and fix your business, whatever it might be, whether the gods of thunder have screwed up your roof, or someone decided not to pay you, you got to bounce them. You got to have your war chest. I'll always harp about the war chest. Here's another thing for the upside profit potential, okay? What else can you do with this purchase? Does this purchase come with an accessory lot that's near a hospital, okay? And you can have that paved and put up some towing signs, rent some parking spaces, be able to put in 30 parking spaces. Rent them out to all the doctors. If it's lucrative enough, maybe there's a gate, with a little electronic card. Okay. Just things, right? Does it have an extra building on the property? What else is there that can make you more money? A cell tower, guys who've done those a lot. Kind of beating those to death. But what else is involved in that specific area that will make you even more money? So, go through this, okay? When you're running your numbers, I'll take a minute and let's go through them again, because you guys see me go through these a lot, and I don't know, I like numbers. Now, take your rent roll. Let's see here. Let's erase something. Get some space here. Take your rent roll. Okay. Here, have your plan, have your exit strategy. Take your rent roll, start beating it up. Okay? Rent roll. Roll. Okay. And start beating it up. It's $5,000. Start subtracting all of these things that I was talking about, okay? And be realistic, okay? So if your mortgage, your taxes, and your insurance come out to, let's say, $2,500, okay? Let's just cut this in two, all right? Now, just understand here, you're not making $2,500 a month on this building. There's going to be vacancies. There's going to be evictions. There's going to be this and that has to go back into that building. There's this and that you want to go back into that building. Your rent roll might be $5,000 right here, but the building isn't in the best of shape, and you've got $50,000 after your purchase that you inherited when your beloved Aunt Tilly died, that's going to increase this. All right, so you might say, you know what, the building has no laundry, tenant needs, okay, all right, and it has no parking, very poor parking, right? But it does have an accessory lot. Wait a minute, let's look at this now. So if I add my laundry and I pave the parking lot or have it patched, okay, and expanded, maybe I can increase this to $5,500. So let's say $5,700. Okay, where am I at now? But just always make sure you're realistic and you're subtracting for renovations, water, etc., landscaping, and have, because you got to push some snow depending on what part of the country you're in. You're also going to have however many units. You're going to have stoves, fridges, boilers. There's a roof over the whole thing. You got to have it. Well, your insurance is in there. Sorry, goof. And then, are you comfortable with what you're making? Okay, so after all is said and done, am I making? Let's say you're making $1,000. Am I okay with that? Now, in a good month, okay, in a good month, if you don't have some of these expenses, last winter here in New England, we didn't have a lot of snow. My snow plowing bill was 20% of what it was 3 years ago. Okay, that was all my money. I kept it. Great, good for me. Okay, because I shored up my losses realistically. I looked at the numbers and I was comfortable with what I was making with a high snow plowing bill, so it's just gravy. All right. So don't rely on years later a building being worth more, or what you're going to have to put into it. You got to look at it from a standpoint of reality. Okay, and people love to skip this step, which is why I think it's so important to always bring it up, of all your accessory expenses that have to go on every month. So just remember that, look, just because your rent roll is this $5,000 and only your debt is $2,500, there's a lot more that goes into that. Okay? All right? Some guys everybody has a different formula for it. I like to put it on a spreadsheet and be realistic with it. What was a plow bill for a similar building? If you're just starting out, call a few snow plowing companies if you're up in Maine, and how much to plow a driveway? Okay, three of them say $50. Okay, what's my average amount of snowstorms? 20 of them. Okay, you have $1,000 snow plowing bill every winter. All right, your water bill, somebody cut the grass. All right, maybe pick up some trash if it's in kind of a borderline area. Plumbers, electricians, they all cost money, and you wind up having to call these people on a monthly basis in some cases, because a good tenant is without. And you can't just ignore them, because you'll lose a tenant. You'll wind up with a shit tenant. All right? So important to keep current with heat and stoves and electric. God forbid there's a fire. So realistically, evaluate the numbers and plug them in. Okay, so I got $1,000 for snow plowing for the year. Put it all on an Excel spreadsheet. There's a plug for Excel. And look at what you're going to come out with on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis. And we did a video on this on your return. And hopefully, I never have to hear that someone tied up a bunch of money, didn't make what they were thinking, and all that. In fact, it's the other way. They wound up making extra dough because they evaluated everything realistically. They held on. Years later, the rents were up. The place appreciated. And they were able to do a 1031 tax-deferred exchange, and they got a building twice the size in top shape at high market rents, and they're making even more money now, and they're all the wiser for it. So that's the purpose of these videos. Thank you for watching, everybody. Again, I love questions. Please pepper the comment section with questions. It really helps give me a good vector on what I need to go over and what I'm spending too much time on, and etc. All right. Don't hesitate with the questions. I just did a video based on a subscriber's question, and I love doing it. So please, um, don't be afraid to ask questions. I'll never berate anybody. Um, this is just me trying to help you guys find the answers in so much of the hype that's out there that I don't want you to believe. Okay? Yes, real estate is profitable, but what in life is highly profitable and is easy? Nothing. All right? So I just kind of want to open your mind on that you have to work. You have to work at it, and then you'll make your cash flow. Thank you for watching, everybody.